All right, so I cannot wait to show you the main build for this video because it's a revamp. And because I cannot wait, it's the first thing we're going to be taking a look at here right now. And that build is a revamp of the Krekka set. And this actually was inspired by a sort of long form question that I had that I'm going to be ending up probably turning into a series on the channel at some point here. And it got me up pretty late last night to start working on this guy here. Probably around like 11 o'clock, didn't get to sleep till like 1. And then immediately when I woke up, I started reworking on it again. So I finally finished it here, and in my story, this is sort of a disc hunter, if you will, not a dark hunter, so to speak, although you could still call it a dark hunter. It's a cooler name objectively. But the story role that he plays is to find all the discs, because he's sort of a contingency, right? Turaga Duma in my story tasks the Toa Metru with finding the discs, but obviously, if they're not able to find all of them, having a contingency, having a secondary character looking for them as well, and even potentially challenging the Toa Metru can actually play a pretty important role for Turaga Duma. So that's something for a different video, but in and of itself, I like the idea of Krekka. I don't like the original execution, but I do like at least one of his 2 functions being that he has the over-the-shoulder launcher thing. It's basically just a minimized version of the Exo-Toa head function, but it works out well enough. And in this case here, it is actually something that can be removed from the character. So you could build like another disk storage on the other side if you wanted to, or of course you can move this to other places on the character if that's something that you find important as well. But as it stands right now, it just tucks right over the shoulder there and works just fine. So this character can carry all 6 of the discs. In fact, he can carry up to 7 because this weapon here I actually found is able to hook onto discs really securely. So this is actually a really nice use for this part. I found several parts that are able to kind of work with this as well. Again, probably a separate video, probably a hidden function or hidden feature video, whatever. But in this case here, I think really from the ground up, everything about this character looks quite good. It's not perfect. I would definitely change these light gray pieces to silver. I just apparently only have 1 in my collection for some reason. Don't ask. Don't know why. But I did get rid of the white on the character. I'm just not a big fan of the white personally. You may like the white, and if you do, thankfully, basically all the silver pieces that aren't weapons and aren't in the head here are available in white. So like that is an option for you. You definitely can do that. And if you don't like this head build, well, I also made a Nokama build. Obviously, you still have the original Krekka build if you like that as well. In my story, 2005 actually doesn't take place in the past. It's in the present. And so we don't get the Toa Hordika in my story. Instead, getting different characters, that's a separate video. And so because of that, it means at the moment, these heads don't exist in my story, but I still want to try to make them, right? So I'm going to try to find somewhere else to shove these pieces so you still get the Hordika heads, even if ultimately we don't get the Hordika themselves, right? That said, though, moving on from there in terms of the build from front to back, I will be building this over in studio as well and posting it over on the Discord. So you can find that link down in the description, and I'll try and make instructions for it whenever I have enough time set aside in order to do it here. But I do really just think the character looks quite good. Yeah, I'm sure that this is more parts than Krekka is for 2004, so this probably would have been like a $30 set, not a $20 set. But it is worth noting at the very least, without any exceptions that I'm aware of, all the parts that are on this, except for this disc launcher, just because I like the dark gray better, I think everything else here was available in 2004 as well. So not only is this guy buildable, but he's buildable in terms of era accuracy. And I think that's quite important. He doesn't have the head nodding function or nothing like that. When I asked in the video where I talked about what I considered the worst Bionicle function, which I was a little hyperbolic in that video, but it was a weird function either way. Many people said when I had asked them what they considered the worst function for Bionicle, the Krekka head turning function was a really popular one. And so, of course, I did go ahead and take that away from him. I did implement it on something else, but that's, again, another video probably going to be coming out here shortly. But yeah, I'm super, super happy with this build. Once again, if you are curious about this build and you want to make this guy yourselves, be sure to check out the Discord so you can find the build for this once it is available. It's not complete yet. Obviously, I just finished making this guy. And yes, while he is using dark gray as a secondary color instead of white, and you might find that a bit boring, I'm using it for a couple of reasons, notably because he and the Vaki sort of share an origin in my story, so having them be similar colors just made sense to me, but also because in my story, obviously if Krekka's sort of the colorful character of 2004, it doesn't really matter because the Toa Metru in my build and in my story get a bit more color to them as well. So this is what they'll end up ultimately looking like. And also there's another disc connection that I found, again, separate video because that one's a lot more clunky but it does work at least well enough for the sake of showcasing it here. So that's going to be it for this video. If you did enjoy it, be sure to subscribe once again, because it does help out the channel tremendously. And I've got more about 2004 that I need to button up, but I'm very happy with this progress because it's very near completion. That's it for this one. I hope you enjoyed, and stay inside. It's very hot outside. Don't go out there. It's terrible. Anyway.